In the sprawling city of Nereid, beneath layers of neon lights and towering skyscrapers, lay the infamous Dark Market, a place where shadows whispered secrets and the air was thick with the scent of desperation. Here, in the labyrinth of dimly lit stalls, one could find anything or anyone for the right price. Amara, a young woman with fiery red hair and emerald green eyes, sat bound in heavy chains, her wrists bruised from countless attempts to free herself. She had been captured from her home planet, Terra, by ruthless alien traders who saw humans as exotic commodities to be sold to the highest bidder. Her heart ached with fear and loss, but beneath it all burned a flicker of hope, a hope that someone would come to her rescue. As she sat in the cold, damp cell, the distant sounds of the market reached her ears, the guttural growls of alien languages, the clinking of currency, and the occasional cry of another unfortunate soul. Amara's thoughts drifted to her family, wondering if they knew of her fate, if they were searching for her. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she blinked them away, refusing to let despair consume her. Meanwhile, in another part of the galaxy, Captain Orion Voss, a seasoned spacefarer with a reputation for his unyielding sense of justice, docked his ship, the Starbound, at Nereid's bustling port. Tall and rugged, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to see into one's very soul, Orion had heard rumors of the Dark Market's illicit activities and had made it his mission to dismantle the nefarious operations that thrived there. As he navigated the winding paths of the market, his attention was drawn to a commotion near a cluster of cages. Pushing through the crowd, he saw her, Amara, chained and vulnerable, yet with a defiant fire in her eyes that spoke of unbroken spirit. Their gazes met, and in that instant, an unspoken connection formed between them. How much for the human? Orion's voice was steady, masking the anger simmering beneath the surface. The alien trader, a grotesque being with multiple eyes and a sneering mouth, sized him up. She's a rare specimen. It'll cost you a fortune. Orion's jaw tightened. He knew negotiating with such scum was distasteful, but he had to play the part. After a tense exchange, credits were transferred, and the trader handed over the key to Amara's chains. Kneeling beside her, Orion gently unlocked the restraints. "You're safe now," he murmured, his voice softening. Amara looked up at him, her eyes brimming with gratitude and relief. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling. Helping her to her feet, Orion offered a reassuring smile. "Let's get you out of here." As they made their way back to the Starbound, the weight of their circumstances pressed upon them. Amara was free from her chains, but the journey ahead was fraught with uncertainty. Yet, in the vast expanse of the universe, amidst the darkness, a spark of hope had ignited, a hope that together they could overcome the challenges that lay ahead. The Starbound was a marvel of human engineering, a sleek spacecraft designed for both speed and comfort. As Amara stepped aboard, she couldn't help but marvel at the advanced technology and the meticulous attention to detail evident in every corner of the vessel. The hum of the engines provided a soothing backdrop, a stark contrast to the cacophony of the Dark Market. Orion led her to the ship's medbay, where he gently guided her to sit on a cushioned examination table. "Let's take a look at those injuries," he said, his tone gentle yet authoritative. As he tended to her wounds, Amara studied him. There was a kindness in his eyes, a depth that spoke of experiences both harrowing and profound. She felt a strange sense of comfort in his presence, a feeling she hadn't known since her capture. "Thank you," she said softly, breaking the silence. "I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't come." Orion glanced up, meeting her gaze. "No one deserves to be treated like that," he replied firmly. "I couldn't stand by and do nothing." A small smile tugged at the corners of Amara's lips. "Still, I'm grateful." After ensuring her injuries were properly treated, Orion showed her to a modest yet comfortable cabin. "You can rest here," he said. "We'll be en route to Terra shortly." Amara's eyes widened. "You're taking me home?" He nodded. "It's the least I can do." Over the next few days, as the Starbound traversed the vastness of space, Amara and Orion spent more time together. They shared stories of their pasts, their dreams, and their fears. Amara learned that Orion had once been part of the Galactic Fleet, but had left due to disillusionment with its bureaucracy and corruption. He had since dedicated himself to helping those in need, operating on the fringes of the law to bring justice to the oppressed. One evening, as they gazed out of the observation deck at the swirling nebulae, Amara turned to Orion. "Why do you do it? Risk your life for strangers." Orion's expression grew contemplative. "Because I believe in a universe where everyone has the right to be free," he said softly. "And if I can make even a small difference, then it's worth it." Touched by his words, Amara felt a warmth blossom in her chest. In the vast emptiness of space, she had found an unexpected connection, a bond that transcended the confines of their circumstances. As days turned into weeks, their relationship deepened. They found solace in each other's company, a refuge from the uncertainties of the universe. In the quiet moments between star systems, amidst the hum of the Starbound, they discovered a love that was as boundless as the cosmos itself. But as they approached Terra, the reality of their situation loomed. Amara yearned to return to her family, to the life she had been torn from. Yet, the thought of parting from Orion filled her with a profound sadness. One night, under the canopy of distant stars, Amara voiced her fears. "What will happen when we reach Terra?" Orion took her hand, his touch reassuring. "We'll face it together," he promised. "Whatever comes, we'll find a way." In that moment, amidst the infinite expanse of the universe, they found solace in each other, their hearts beating in unison, ready to face whatever the future held. As the Starbound approached Terra, Amara's heart raced with anticipation and anxiety. The planet's blue and green hues filled the viewport, a sight she had feared she might never see again. Beside her, Orion observed her reaction, his expression unreadable. "We're entering Terra's atmosphere," he announced, his voice steady. "We'll be landing shortly." Amara nodded, her thoughts a whirlwind. She had longed for this moment, but now that it was here, uncertainty gnawed at her. Would her family recognize her? Had life moved on without her? And what of her bond with Orion? The ship touched down smoothly on a secluded landing pad. Orion had chosen a discreet location to avoid drawing attention. He turned to Amara, his eyes softening. "Are you ready?" he asked gently. Taking a deep breath, Amara replied, "As ready as I'll ever be." They disembarked, the familiar scent of Terra's air filling Amara's lungs. Memories flooded back, both comforting and overwhelming. Orion stayed close, offering silent support. Navigating through the outskirts, they reached a modest house adorned with blooming flowers. Amara's childhood home. Her heart pounded as she approached the door, hesitating before knocking. Moments later, the door creaked open, revealing a woman with graying hair and weary eyes. Those eyes widened in shock, and a trembling hand covered her mouth. "Amara?" the woman whispered, tears welling up. "Mom." Amara choked out, her own tears spilling over. They embraced tightly, the weight of lost time pressing upon them. After a while, they pulled back, and her mother noticed Orion standing respectfully nearby. "And who is this?" she inquired, wiping her tears. "This is Orion," Amara introduced. "He saved me." Her mother stepped forward, grasping Orion's hands. "Thank you," she said earnestly. "Thank you for bringing my daughter back." Over the next few days, Amara reunited with her family, sharing stories of her ordeal and her journey with Orion. Her family welcomed him warmly, grateful for his role in her return. One evening, as the sun set, casting a golden glow over the landscape, Amara and Orion sat on the porch in comfortable silence. The chirping of crickets filled the air, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. "It's beautiful here," Orion remarked, breaking the silence. Amara nodded. "It is. I missed it more than I realized." He turned to her, his gaze intense yet tender. "What will you do now?" She sighed, looking out at the horizon. "I don't know. Part of me wants to stay, to rebuild my life here. But another part, he prompted gently. Another part can't imagine life without you, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Orion reached out, taking her hand in his. You don't have to choose, he said softly. We can find a way to make it work, together. Tears filled her eyes as she looked at him, seeing the sincerity in his expression. In that moment, she knew that no matter where the future led, as long as they were together, they could face anything. As the stars began to twinkle above, Amara leaned into Orion's embrace, finding solace in the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. The universe was vast and unpredictable, but here, in this simple moment, everything felt right. And so, under the canopy of the night sky, they made a silent promise to each other, a promise of love, of partnership, and of hope for the future. As the days turned into weeks, Amara and Orion settled into a comfortable routine on Terra. They spent their mornings exploring the lush landscapes, afternoons assisting her family with various tasks, and evenings under the starlit sky, sharing stories and dreams. Their bond grew stronger, and the initial uncertainties about their future together began to fade. One crisp morning, as the sun painted the horizon with hues of orange and pink, a distant hum disrupted the tranquility. Orion's instincts sharpened. Years of navigating the perils of space had honed his senses. He exchanged a concerned glance with Amara. Stay here, he urged, his voice firm yet gentle. I'll check it out. Amara nodded, worry etching her features. Be careful. Orion moved swiftly toward the source of the sound, weaving through the dense foliage. As he approached a clearing, the sight before him made his heart race. A sleek, unfamiliar spacecraft had landed, its metallic surface gleaming ominously. A group of armored figures disembarked, their movements precise and coordinated. Drawing upon his extensive knowledge of intergalactic factions, Orion recognized the emblem emblazoned on their armor, a symbol associated with a notorious group of alien mercenaries known for abducting beings across galaxies. His mind raced, connecting the dots. Could they be after Amara? Retreating silently, Orion returned to Amara, who awaited him anxiously. We have to leave, now, he whispered urgently. What's happening? Amara asked, her voice trembling. There's a group of alien mercenaries nearby. It's not safe here. Without wasting another moment, they informed her family of the impending danger. Her parents, though reluctant to see them go, understood the gravity of the situation. With hurried goodbyes and promises to stay in touch, Amara and Orion made their way to the Starbound. As they prepared for takeoff, the ship's sensors detected multiple life forms approaching rapidly. The mercenaries had tracked them. Hold on, Orion shouted as he initiated the launch sequence. The Starbound roared to life, ascending swiftly into the atmosphere. But the mercenaries were relentless. Their ships pursued, weapons locking onto the Starbound. We can't outrun them, Amara said, panic rising in her chest. Orion's eyes narrowed with determination. Then we outsmart them. He deftly navigated through a nearby asteroid field, using the massive rocks as cover. The mercenaries followed, but their larger ships struggled to maneuver in the tight spaces. Seizing the opportunity, Orion activated the ship's stealth mode, rendering them invisible to enemy sensors. They held their breath as the mercenaries searched futilely before eventually retreating. Once the danger had passed, Amara exhaled deeply. That was too close. Orion nodded, his expression serious. This isn't over. We need to find out why they're after us. As they ventured deeper into space, a sense of unease settled between them. The universe, vast and unpredictable, held many secrets. But together, they were determined to uncover the truth and face whatever challenges lay ahead. In the quiet confines of the Starbound, amidst the backdrop of distant stars, Amara and Orion found solace in each other's presence. Their love, tested by adversity, burned brighter than ever, illuminating the path forward in the vast expanse of the cosmos. As the Starbound cruised through the vastness of space, Amara and Orion delved into the mystery of the mercenaries' pursuit. Accessing the ship's advanced database, they scoured records for any information that could shed light on their adversaries. These mercenaries, Orion began, his brow furrowed in concentration. They're not acting randomly. There's a purpose behind their actions. Amara nodded, her fingers dancing over the console as she sifted through data. Agreed. But what could they possibly want with us? Hours turned into days as they pieced together fragments of information. They discovered that the mercenaries were part of a clandestine organization known as the Syndicate, notorious for trafficking rare and exotic beings across galaxies. It seems, Orion said, his voice tinged with anger, that humans have become a valuable commodity in certain parts of the universe. Amara's heart sank. So, they're after me because I'm valuable? Orion reached out, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Not just you. Any human they can capture. But we won't let that happen. Determined to confront the threat head-on, they plotted a course to a remote space station rumored to be a hub for the Syndicate's operations. Upon arrival, the station loomed ominously against the backdrop of distant stars, its structure a maze of corridors and hidden chambers. Disguised to blend in with the station's diverse inhabitants, Amara and Orion navigated the bustling corridors, gathering intelligence. They learned of an upcoming auction where rare beings, including humans, were to be sold to the highest bidders. We need to find out where they're holding the captives, Amara whispered as they eavesdropped on a conversation between two alien traders. Orion nodded. And put an end to this operation. Their investigation led them to a heavily guarded sector of the station. Using Orion's tactical expertise and Amara's quick thinking, they bypassed security measures and infiltrated the holding cells. Inside, they found numerous captives of various species, all displaying signs of mistreatment. Among them were several humans, their eyes reflecting a mix of fear and hope. We're here to help, Amara assured them, her voice gentle yet firm. Stay quiet and follow our lead. As they orchestrated the prisoners' escape, alarms blared throughout the station. The Syndicate's forces converged on their location, leading to a tense standoff. We don't have much time, Orion said, his eyes scanning for an exit route. Amara spotted a maintenance tunnel. This way. Leading the captives through the narrow passageways, they evaded their pursuers and reached the docking bay. However, a contingent of mercenaries blocked their path to the Starbound. Keep moving, Orion ordered, drawing his weapon to cover their retreat. Amara hesitated, not wanting to leave him behind. Orion. He met her gaze, his expression resolute. I'll be right behind you. Go. Reluctantly, Amara led the captives aboard the Starbound. Moments later, Orion dashed up the ramp, sealing the hatch behind him. Let's get out of here, he said, breathless but determined. As the Starbound launched into the void, the station's defenses activated, firing upon them. Orion's piloting skills were put to the test as he maneuvered the ship through a barrage of laser fire. Shields are holding, Amara reported, monitoring the systems. For now, Orion replied, his focus unwavering. With a final evasive maneuver, they jumped to hyperspace, leaving the Syndicate's stronghold behind. In the aftermath, the rescued captives expressed their gratitude, some shedding tears of relief. Amara and Orion provided them with food, medical attention, and assurances of safe passage to their respective homeworlds. Later, in the quiet of the ship's observation deck, Amara and Orion reflected on their ordeal. We made a difference today, Amara said, gazing at the stars. Orion nodded, his hand finding hers. Yes, we did. But the Syndicate is still out there. Amara squeezed his hand, determination in her eyes. Then we'll stop them. Together. In that moment, amidst the endless expanse of the cosmos, they reaffirmed their commitment to each other and to the fight against injustice. Their love, forged in adversity, had become a beacon of hope, a light against the darkness that threatened to engulf the universe. As the Starbound continued its journey through the cosmos, Amara and Orion remained vigilant, aware that the Syndicate's reach extended far and wide. Their recent victory had provided a temporary respite, but the looming threat persisted. One evening, as they navigated through a nebulous shimmering hues, the ship's communication console emitted a series of beeps. A message, encrypted with advanced coding, appeared on the screen. "It's from an unknown source," Amara noted, her brow furrowing. Orion's fingers danced over the controls, decrypting the message. As the text became clear, his eyes widened. "What is it?" Amara asked, sensing his unease. "It's an invitation," Orion replied slowly, "to a summit of intergalactic leaders. They claim to have information about the Syndicate's operations." Amara's heart raced. "Do you think it's genuine?" "There's only one way to find out," Orion said, setting a course for the specified coordinates. Upon arrival, the Starbound docked at a massive space station orbiting a distant planet. The station buzzed with activity, hosting a myriad of species from across the universe. Escorted to a grand chamber, Amara and Orion found themselves among dignitaries and leaders, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. A tall figure with luminescent skin stepped forward. "Welcome, Captain Orion and Amara. We are honored by your presence." "Thank you," Orion replied cautiously. "May we know who you are?" "I am Elindra, representative of the Galactic Council," the figure introduced. "We have been monitoring the Syndicate's activities and your recent endeavors against them." Amara exchanged a glance with Orion. "Why have you summoned us?" Elindra's gaze softened. "Because the Syndicate's influence is more pervasive than you realize. They have infiltrated various governments and organizations. We need allies like you to dismantle their network." As discussions progressed, Amara felt a growing sense of purpose. The fight against the Syndicate was far from over, but with the support of the Galactic Council, they had a real chance to make a difference. After the summit, as they prepared to depart, Elindra approached them privately. "There is something else you should know." "What is it?" Orion inquired. "The Syndicate has been experimenting with advanced technology," Elindra revealed. "They've developed a device capable of altering memories and identities." Amara's blood ran cold. "Are you saying?" "It's possible that some individuals they've captured have had their memories erased and identities changed," Elindra confirmed. A realization struck Amara. "Orion, what if I was one of those individuals?" Orion's eyes widened. "But your memories, what if they're fabricated?" Amara whispered, her voice trembling. Elindra nodded. "It's a possibility. We have a way to recover lost memories, but it's a delicate process." Torn between the desire to know the truth and the fear of what it might reveal, Amara looked to Orion. He took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "Whatever you decide, I'm with you." Taking a deep breath, Amara nodded. "Let's do it." Back aboard the Starbound, Elindra provided the necessary equipment. As the procedure began, memories flooded back, fragments of a life she didn't recognize. She saw herself in different settings, with different people, living a life far removed from the one she remembered. When the process concluded, Amara sat in stunned silence. "What did you see?" Orion asked gently. I was someone else," Amara murmured. "The Syndicate erased my identity and gave me a new one." Orion squeezed her hand. "But who you are now, that's what matters." Tears welled in her eyes. "I don't even know my real name." "Names don't define us," Orion said softly. "Your actions, your choices. That's who you are." Amara looked into his eyes, finding solace in their depths. "Thank you." As they embraced, a renewed determination filled them both. The Syndicate had taken much from them, but they would fight to ensure no one else suffered the same fate. Together, they set a course for the heart of the Syndicate's operations, ready to confront the darkness and reclaim the light. In the vast expanse of the universe, amidst the stars and the void, their love remained a constant, a beacon guiding them through the unknown. And as they ventured into the depths of space, they knew that, no matter what lay ahead, they would face it together. For in each other, they had found not just love, but a reason to hope, a reason to believe in a future where freedom and justice prevailed. And so, their journey continued, two souls intertwined, navigating the cosmos and the complexities of their own identities, united in purpose and in heart.